my channel. Today, I'm going to be answering your questions as Serena. So a few weeks ago, I asked you guys what were some things that you wanted to see on this channel or on live streams, things like that. And something that someone had mentioned was doing something in character. And then I was kind of thinking and was like, well, what if I do a Q&A where you can ask the character questions and I'll answer them as a character. So that's where we are today. So I am going to be Serena from Pokemon X and Y. Not totally in her outfit yet, but in just a few moments I will snap my fingers and come back as Serena. Just before we start, I wanted to remind you to go over to my Instagram and subscribe and like this video channel. And I got lots of links going on. You can find out where to get all the stuff I'm wearing, things like that. It'll all be linked below. At this point, if you watch my videos, you know that. So anyway, let's get started. And so here we go. Here comes Serena. Hi everybody, it's Serena here from Pokemon X and Y. And I heard that you had a lot of questions for me. And there was quite a lot of questions, so I hope I can get to everybody's questions today. And I have my partner here, Finnegan, so he might help to answer some of the questions later. So let's get started. So the first question that I was asked was, what is my favorite spot in Kalos? And that's a hard one. If you've ever been to Kalos, you know that there are so many beautiful areas there. If I had to pick my favorite place, besides being on stage, of course, I would have to say that it would be the shopping center in Lumiose, because I just think that there are so many cute outfits in that area to look at and try on, and I'm always looking for new performance outfits. Another thing I really like in Lumiose City are all of the bakeries. There are so many different treats to buy, and I can even find some new recipes when I'm making my own. This next question actually involves Finnegan, and the question that I got asked was, why did I choose Finnegan? Well, when it was time, it was a hard decision, and I just knew when I was in Professor Sycamore's lab, just looking at Chespin and Froakie and Finnegan, there was just something about Finnegan that just really, you know, we kind of connected, and I feel like this was the best possible choice, and Finnegan is always there for me, and it also loves to perform, and we just connected right away. So the next question is, what is my favorite showcase memory? And this one is kind of hard because I feel like I had a favorite moment that was a really joyous moment and a really just, you know, kind of like, I felt like I was finally where I needed to be moment. And then there was also before that the moment of me really realizing what it was I wanted to do. So I guess we'll talk about the latter first. So during my first showcase, I had Finnegan with me, and unfortunately we did have a fall, and it really was just, it was hard. It's hard. We worked so hard to down our performance, and we didn't even get to the performance part of it. We only did the runway, and it was really fun to work with Finnegan, but it was really sad, and it was kind of in that moment I had to choose, you know, did I want to give up on that, or did I want to continue? Was it something that I really felt like I wanted to do? And that evening and the next morning, I was just thinking about it, and I just felt like, you know, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm going to work harder, and I'm going to just kind of persevere and kind of think about my Pokemon a little bit more. And I think that's where the issue was we just weren't, you know, listening to each other as much during that performance, and that's why we had a little bit of a plunder. But since then, we've been much better at communicating, and it's kind of really what has sparked our interest in this whole competition. And so for my favorite showcase memory, it definitely has to be during the master class when I had Braixen and Sylveon and Pancham all on stage with me, and it was really great, and we put on a really great show. Now we were up against Aria, who is still the Kalos queen at the moment, but it was so fun, and Aria is one of the best people I've ever met. She's super competitive, but she's also so sweet and wants to be helpful and just is kind of there to pick you up. But our performance was just, it was spectacular, and you can actually find it on YouTube. Apparently somebody was videotaping it, and it's on there, and I like to watch it sometimes just to remember why I'm out here doing this. So that brings me to my next question, which is, what is my advice for contests? And I think the best advice that I can give is just, you know, to have fun. When you're doing competitions, you know, there's definitely a level of, you need to be serious about it, and you need to be working hard. You can't go into something without working really hard and expect to come out with being successful. But when it all comes down to it, if you're not having fun, if you're getting hurt, and you and your Pokemon are just exhausted and tired and pushing yourselves to the limit constantly, it's not going to be fun. So I think in the end, you definitely need to be in it to have fun, not so much to be in it to win. And the second thing that I would say for contests with your Pokemon is that you really need to be communicative with your Pokemon. You need to be really close with that Pokemon. I mean, I kind of mentioned that with our first competition when Fennekin had a little stumble. And since then, I felt like that was something we really needed to work on. And that's something I would definitely say to somebody who's starting out. Make sure that you and your Pokemon are really working really well together. Otherwise, it can end up a little scary. The next question is, what is my biggest ambition and what is my biggest fear? So, as you know, my ambition was to become Kalos Queen. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I picked up and moved on and went to Hoenn and started doing different types of contests over there. And so I would say my biggest ambition for a while was to be with Ash. And then when I tried the competitions, I really enjoyed it. And I loved being with my Pokemon. So then that became my next ambition, was to be Kalos Queen. Now, really, it's just about kind of bettering myself and getting closer with my Pokemon and coming up with new performances and just kind of working on it and becoming as good as we can be. I think we always need to be working really hard, and the more we work, the more practice we have, the better we get. And really, I just want to see us get as far as we can and just be our best, just get to our best. And for my biggest fear, it's really about losing somebody close to me. And it was hard to leave Kalos. I mean, I was leaving my family and my best friends. You know, I was leaving Bonnie and Clement, and they were going to be in Kalos still, but I left. And it was scary and hard, and I knew Ash was leaving to go somewhere else, and that's my biggest fear, I think, is just losing people that are close to me. But I've been through it a little bit, but I think if I lost one of my Pokemon, that would be the worst and scariest thing. They're always there for me. I mean, your friends come and go because they have to move on, but your Pokemon are always with you, and I think that's definitely my biggest fear. Next question actually involves Ash. Actually, the next two questions involve Ash, and the first one is, what do I love about traveling with Ash the most? And it's definitely his ambition. I mean, he's the one that really I can look up to as a role model and look and see he's always working with his Pokemon. He's always working to be his best, and they learn new things all the time and adapt to new situations, and I feel like, if anything, it's been great having him as a role model. And, you know, I do have a thing for Ash, so it just helps, you know, it's just kind of like another good thing about it. The other question was, do I think that Ash will come back to me? And the thing is, I feel like it would be selfish of me to want that for him. I feel like he needs to do what he feels is best for him and his ambitions, and for me, I left and went to Hoenn, so kind of like, you know, would be nice, but at the same time, I feel like we need to do what's best for us in our lives, and we realize that we both have separate lives and just kind of have to move on, even if it's sad to lose your friends. Alright, you guys, so that's all the time I have today to answer your questions, and I'm really sorry if I couldn't get to your question. I really got to get back to practicing. We have a lot of work to do. We're working on some new techniques and moves that we want to try out together, and it's a lot of work, and I really got to get back to it. But thank you guys so much for sending in your questions, and I hope that I was able to tell you a little bit more about myself, and you know, thank you and have a good day.